Okay, so you're welcome back to Kanga Academic Tutors. So the name is Kanga Desmond, and today I'm going to show you how to do a cadastral plot, a detailed explanation of it. So take time and sit down and watch it carefully. So before you start what cadastral plot, you have to make sure that we are having your data prepared. So you make sure you go onto the field, you pick your data, either 4 point, 5 points. Does not matter the number of points. So you just have to have the point in the system you work with. So it can be either in UTM, that's the Universal Transverse Locator, or the Ghana meter grid, that's the War Office. So it depends on you, the coordinate system you're working with. So now for Ghana here, most of the times we deal with Ghana meter grid. Yeah, most of our works are done in Ghana meter grid. So unless the plan is not that official, that you use the UTM grid, or for just say for a practical purpose, that's why you use the UTM grid. But mostly we use the Ghana meter grid to do all the plotting. Now, before you can do a cadastral plan, you have to make sure that you're having the AutoCAD. And AutoCAD, you cannot use the default way of importing the point onto one AutoCAD or the normal AutoCAD to do so. So before you can do that, you have to get some plugin into the AutoCAD system. That will make it to be able to use it for cadastral plotting. So there are mainly two plugins you can use for AutoCAD plotting. So you either have the SUR, that's the survey. You can see it here. So this is how the SUR looks like, or you use a Carson software to do the cadastral plotting. Okay, so but basically most of us use the SUR because it's very easy to use. But you can also make use of the Carson software because it has so many features in them. So this one is the SUR. So now we're going to make use of the SUR in plotting the cadastral plans. So now let's go so that I'll show you how my data look like. So I'll navigate. So this is where I've set my data. Now, after getting your data from the instruments, you have to process it to get your coordinate for plotting. How to process it. So we have a tool called magnetic tools. You can look in my previous tutorials of done some explanation of the magnetic tools. So after picking the point, you should be able to download your point from the Stonex GPS. So by downloading it for the Stonex GPS, it allows you to convert it directly to a RANET format before you download it. So you see here, I'm having my RANET format. So this is my RANET data of the coordinate I picked. So you have to convert this RANET data onto the datum you work with, that's the Ghana meter grid. So you're having the software called the magnetic tools. So this tool will help you to convert the raw data onto the Ghana meter grid to be used for the plotting. And this raw data is attached to the files you send it to the survey and mapping division after you're done doing your plotting. So this running data is very important. Okay, then we have a GPS summary. That one is also attached to it when you are submitting your files. For now, you're going to focus on the plotting. So this is my plotting data, or this is my point. So you can see this is my northings, my eastings, and my label. So note, if you're using the SUR plugin, or officially called the Joe card, you have to make sure that your coordinates are being arranged in this way. The northerns first are the first column, followed by the easterns, then followed by the label of the water point. So these are the original numbers of these points. So if you're not having any original number, you can name it point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4. But you see, for cadastral plotting, there should be always a base reference to the point you're going to pick. So after collecting all the points, you have to make sure that in plotting you include the base you reference to when picking the point. So you can see that this coordinate is different from all these here. So you can see 2, 2, 1, but here the following numbers are showing 319, 319. That means that this one is different. So this is our base coordinate, and the rest are the 4 points I picked for the plot. Okay, so these are the 4 points I picked for the plot. Now let's load it to the AutoCAD and start plotting. Okay, so what I do is that I'll just open my AutoCAD. This one is just a template. Okay, so let me open a new AutoCAD, and now I'll come to load my point. So I'll go to the survey or the SER, then I'll go to point plotting. Now I will navigate to where I saved my file. So it is on desktop, was at the bar. So I'll go here, desktop, was at the bar. Now I'm having one work here. Then I go to the point. The point is named point underscore new. So I'll choose this point. And note, your point should be a CSV file. This plugin only accepts a CSV file, so make sure that you save your work in a CSV format. Okay, so click on open, and now before the point can be loaded, it will open a notebook for you, showing you the arrangement of the point. So you can see these are the arrangement of the point. You have the northerns, the easterns, and the label. So this will show you the arrangement of the point. You can close it. Now after that, he said the first column says that enter the absolute point size. So the point that will appear on the AutoCAD, you have to structure the or give it the size. So you can use 16, and the text that will appear, or the label size, how to type that one to, let's say 16. So after typing this 16, you have to move to the next column. So you can either move your mouse here and click here, or at this first page just press tab and it will move to the next the next row without using the mouse. You can use the tab to do that. So let's say that one is also 16, then I press tab, or I use my mouse to come. It's the same operation. I'll use 16 and click OK. Now the format at which you arrange your coordinate you choose from this place. So you have either the northerns, easterns, elevation and label, the northerns, easterns and label, northerns, easterns, elevation, or only northerns and the easterns. But our point is northerns, easterns and label, so we choose this option and click OK. Now the point has loaded, but you can see that nothing is showing here. So you just have to move the mouse slowly, and we see some red points here. So these are the points. So you can just zoom into that point. Or the faster way you can do it is that if, let's say, you can't find a point, what you do is that now identify one letter in the point. So let's say this is my point. So this is my point. Now you can see that my point, I'm having SS in it, or GG in it, or W in it. So what I'll do is that when I come to the AutoCAD, what I'll do is that I'll just type find, a command find, and press enter. So it's asking you find what. So I want to find a letter in the labels I gave. So let's say S. I want to find S. Then I go to find. So it will automatically bring me all the points. You see, it has automatically bring me all the points containing X. You see, and the other 4 points they're containing R. They're containing R. So you can see. So the base is having X. That's why the base appeared first. But if you want to locate the 4 points, you can type what R, because that's the common letter that the base is not having. So what we do is that let's go to AutoCAD. Let's type find. You see, then we type enter. Then we tell the pop-up menu I'm finding R and type find. You see, these are the 4 points, and close it. They get it. Now we can use the mouse scroll. So as you scroll up, it will zoom out the AutoCAD. As you scroll down, it will zoom in the AutoCAD. So when you depress the scroll, you can move everything on the AutoCAD, or you can come here and use the pan tool, then removing it. So if you want to deactivate the pan tool, just press escape to deactivate that command, and depress it and removing it. Okay. Now you see this label is preventing me from seeing this label well, so I can just move this label to the other side so that I can see the point clearly. So what I'll do is that I'll just select this one by just left clicking on it, and select this one at the same time. I just left clicking on it. What I do is that I'll just press and hold, and it will move everything. So just press and hold the two selected labels, they move to the other side. So these are my points. So these are my points. So these are the 4 points. And now you have to locate your base. So as I move down, you see this is my base down here. This is my base down here. Okay. So if it is for practical purpose and you are not having the base, you can just continue and just join the 4 points. Okay. But this one I'm having the base, so you have to reference it to the first point and check my bearings and the distance from the base to the first point I picked. And you have to note that at some limit, let's say when the distance is about 100,000, most of the time when you send it to the SMD, they won't accept it. So you have to first of all notice the distance. It shouldn't be that far. And the base, you can use the core station, or you can establish your own base as you're going to work. So as time goes on, you understand what's meant by the core station and what's meant by you establishing your own base. So now I'm done with importing my point. So if you don't know how to save your file as CSV, let's say this is my point. I've typed in my Excel. I want to save it as CSV. So what I'll do is I'll just go to File, Save As. I give it a name. Then this drop down arrow, I go to this place. CSV is the comma separated value, but it's named here simple, comma delimited. So select that one and save your work, and that's all. It should be in the CSV format. You can see the extension CSV. Okay. So now these are my points. So now I want to join the points. So after importing the point, what we do is that you join them by using a line. You have two types of line in AutoCAD: the polyline and the line. So what I'll do is I'll just press L. You see a line has appeared. So I'll just click on it. Then since the reference is coming from the base station, what I'll do is that I'll go and start my line from the base station, because I would like to reference it from where the base point is to the first point, follow to the second point, the third point, and the fourth point, and make sure that when you are joining the point, it will be in a clockwise direction, because that's what they accept at the SMD. We plot in the clockwise direction. So I'll go and locate my base. This is my base. Okay, and it should be able to detect the center automatically. So if you bring your mouse closer to the point, it's not detecting it automatically. What we do is that just type a command OS snap or O snap. So you can see, as I tap O, you can see there's some command here telling me O snap. That's what the object snap. So you snap the object to the center, so it will identify the center automatically. So what we do is that just click on the O snap, and these options will come. You can see end point, middle point, center point. So what you do is that just select everything, select all. Can clear all, can select all. So just select all, then click OK. So let me go to the command again. O snap, enter, then everything will appear. So if I clear all, you see, if I move my mouse closer to the point, it's not identifying anything, because I've not engaged that command O snap. So what I'll do is that I'll just type O snap, then enter, then I'll select everything, select all, and click OK. So now, if I want to identify the point, the middle point, so when I type line, I want to identify the point. So when I bring it closer to automatically identify the center point, then I click this center point. Now I move it to, by using the scroll bar to zoom in and out, and moving it towards my first point. So this is my first point. So I'll plot it clockwise. So I make sure I label it in the clockwise direction. So that's what I'm having, the point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, point, yeah, it's point 4. So I'll start here. I make sure I get the center, left click, then move to the next point, center, left click, a third point, center, left click, then I go to the fourth point, center, left click, then I go to the other point, then I click, then I'll press enter, then I'm done joining the point, because the direction you go will determine the bearings you get. If you go anti-clockwise, it will give you the bearings in anti-clockwise. So position it in a way when you are joining the lines in the clockwise direction. Okay, so now after joining my point, now I'll calculate my bearings and distances. And because of the plugin we are using, the survey, when I select the bearings and distance, it will automatically calculate everything. But I know you'll be taught in class how to do those calculations, how to calculate the area using a coordinate method, how to calculate the partial coordinate, how to calculate the actual coordinate using the bearings and distances with the partial coordinate and the known coordinates. So everything will be taught in class. So this one we are going direct by the software. So after joining everything, what I will do is that I'll just go to survey, I'll go to bearings and distance. Now we deal with feet. So what I'll do is that this one is meter, this one is feet. So I'll select a bearings and distance in feet. So I'll just select this one. So now it's telling me that which direction am I going? Is it left to right, right to left, left to left, right to right? or hot. So now, because I'm moving in a clockwise direction, what I'll do is that I'll select left to right because I'm moving what a clockwise direction. So I'll just type LR, then enter. Now it is asking me what's the size of the text I want it to appear, the bearings and distance I want to calculate, what's the size I want to give it. So let's say I want it to give me a size of, let's say, 8, then enter. Then it's asking me, do you want to have the reverse direction of what you plotted or the forward direction? Now I don't want the reverse direction, so I'll just type N, meaning no. Then I press enter. Now I'll start selecting from my base, come to the next point. I've selected this one, this one, this one, and this one. So make sure everything is what's selected and press enter. So you can see this is the bearing and the distance, the bearing and the distance, the bearing and the distance. So by visual inspection, you can do a visual inspection on your own by checking to see if everything is accurate. Now if I draw something like, so let's use the mouse pointer. We've seen the northings, the eastings, the northings. So by using the whole circuit bearing, these ones are the whole circuit bearing calculations. So by visually inspection, if I put my cursor on this point, you see this one is the point. So you can see there will be 90. Look at where the 0 starts, then the 90 angle, then the 180 angle. So you can see the line is not exactly on the 180. So it's giving some small angle before the 180. So meaning that from where the line is from point 4 to point 1, if I put my cursor here, that small angle there, you can see from the north, that line, meaning that bearing there is 173. It's not up to not up to 180. I hope you've got that. So when you come here to the same thing, so when it start the whole circuit bearing from the top, north to the east 90, to the south 180, to the west 270, you can see. So now there's some small angle raised above the 270, so that's why you're having the bearing to 271, but it's above 90. When it comes to this place to the same thing, now we are having around 351, because reading the whole circuit bearing from the north, whole circuit bearings are always read from the north. So reading the whole circuit bearing from the north, you will see that that's the bearing. So that's for visual inspection. So after doing that, you have to do a visual inspection to identify or know that the bearings and everything are okay. And you have to have an idea of the distances, so that you'll be able to correct them. So this is something small about the work. So now if you want to, now let's locate that one for the base. So now we see the base, the label is very small, so I can't see it. So when I want to see it, what I'll do is that just select that base. You see some pointed point there, so you can see this pointed point there, meaning that point is where the labels are being situated. So I'll just zoom to it. You can see this is my label. So when you press enter, it will deselect. Then I'll select this one. I select this one. Now I want to move it closer to where my plan is. What I'll do is that there are two ways of moving the point. It's either you select the tool and depress or Okay, yeah, depress on the label and move it. Or what you after selecting it, you just go to this page. You see a move tool here. Select that move tool and come and click on the label and just drag it to where you want to put it. So move it closer to the plan. Then after locating where you want to put it, just left click and it will be there. So this time my plot, everything is intact. Okay, now I'm done with my plot. Now I want to grade or put it in a grade. Now if you take a sample cadastral plan, because most of the times for the SMD or the survey mapping division, we use the scale of 2,500. Our intervals are mostly in 500 feet. So let me show you a sample cadastral plan. So this is a sample cadastral plan. And we are having, so this is how the label should be. The scale is 2,500. Okay, let me copy a sample one for you. I've done here. So a sample one. Okay, so this is how mostly we do it. So we have to get 3 lines in between it. 3 lines in between it, and 3 lines. The distance from this line to this line should be same as the distance between this line and this line. You see, so you have 1, 2, 3. You see, and here we are having. So we are having 1 line here, another line here, another line here. I hope you get it. Okay. So and the intervals, you can see this one is 319,500. So when you add another 500 to each, we get 320,000. So the intervals are in 500. Okay, so I have to note this one, because if the spaces one is bigger than the other, it will be rejected. So what you do, because we want a good spacing, and from here to this place too should be the same as from here to this end. So because we want a good spacing, what you do is that after getting your plan here, go to your SUR, then go to the grade plotting. So click when this one appears, just click OK. Then it will tell you select lower select lower left corner. This is my lower left corner. So just this one zoom. Is zoom in or is not? So just zoom it to be small. Then go to the left corner. Then click. After clicking, just don't press anything. Just drag it to form a box around the boundary, something like this, and just left click. So this one will appear. Now we don't want the grid text marks, we want grid lines. So change from the grid text marks to the grid lines. Now grid spacing, as I told you earlier, we are using an interval of 500. So what I'll do is I'll just change this one to 500. And now if you want the northern and the eastern signs to show, then you have to keep this one there. If you don't want to show, just clean it from there. Now I want the northern and the eastern to show, to be able to identify it easily, so I'll leave it there. If I don't want to show, I just select this one and just backspace and it will go. But I want it to be there, so I'll just maintain it. Then I click OK. Now it will ask me to give a text information. Now I want my text color to be white, because always it has to be white to be able to identify it. So I'll just choose white here, then click OK. Now it will ask me of the label text. Now what will be the size of the text? So at most it should be 28 or 27. So let's use 27. Then after here we are good to go, and click OK. So these are my grade. These are my grade. So the grade is plenty because we want a good spacing. So what you do is that just zoom it to where your plan is. Now you have to insert your template on it to cover that lines you need. So I'll come here. You see I'm having a template here. So I think you will be provided with a template. So what I'll do is that I want to copy this template and go paste it on it. So what you do is when you want to copy a template, just start at the top here. Where you get the full size of the template, just left click. Don't press anything, just drag the mouse to the other side and make sure everything is covered. Then left click on it as well. You see everything is being selected. Then you press Ctrl C to copy it. When it comes to where your drawing is, so this is my drawing. So what I'll do is that I'll just click Ctrl V, paste. Now you can see as you move the mouse, the diagram is moving. So I'll just position it in a way at which I'll get my trail lines vertically and my trail lines horizontally, by each having equal sizes at the ends. So I'll just position it this way. Okay, so you can see I'm a bit, so I think this is okay. This is okay. So you can see the space here, it's the same as the space here. The space here is equal to the space here by visual inspection. Okay, so after putting it there, now I don't want the grids around it. So what I'll do is that just zoom in, select the boundaries of your template. Then you want to cut everything here, but in AutoCAD we don't say cut, we say trim. So this is the trim. So what you do is that you either come and click on this one or just type the command TR. You see that trim will appear here, and just click on trim. Now you just press left click and be dragging it around your plan. You see it has trimmed everything there. Now it's left with only your plan. It's left with only your plan. So what you do is that we just trim the rest part you don't need. Now I want to trim the lines here. So what I'll do is that I'll just select this one as my reference and I type trim, then enter. So if I select this one, you see all the line there will go away. This one too will go away. This one too will go away. This one too will go away. Now I'm done with the top one. Now press escape to deactivate the command. Then come down here. Then I select this one, trim again, and I select this one. I select this one, this one, this one. I don't need this one too. Okay. Then this one too. Nowadays we don't add the reference line, so you just have to delete this one. Now I left my plan alone. So this is it. Then escape. Okay, so if you're having any line here that is disturbing you from seeing the, or it's crossing the boundary much, then just trim it. But now we can see the drawing itself here, so everything is okay. So what is left is that now I can bring my coordinate closer, or bring my coordinate to this one. So what I do is that you just zoom in a bit, so you can see this line, this coordinate for this one for this one, and this one for this one, because we are using just 3 lines. So just select these 3 coordinates. Just select these 3 coordinates. So what we do is that just left click, then drag it through these 3 coordinates. Now you want to move it horizontally, we don't want it to shift. So what we will do is that after selecting it, go to, you can see this one, it said restrict the cursor horizontally or vertically. Now you want to restrict it horizontally, so after selecting this small straight line horizontally, which is something like a rectangle, triangle inside, so just select this one, make sure it's blue, then go to copy, then click on the copy, then come and click at where you selected your point. Now move. You can see that the points are moving horizontally to where your lines are, then just moving. You can see, because if you try to move it one by one, it will shift. So after you reach at where you want to position, just put it there, one here. Then because we use the copy command, after putting one there, you can go and put another one at the other side. So we move it to this side and another click. You can see everything is cool. Then just press escape. Now we are done with the nothings. So this one is a little bit closer. So what I'll do is I'll just move this arrow up. So I'll just move this one up. I'll just let it move. Okay. So I'll just depress and drag it up to go. So and by positioning this coordinate, some surveyors who put it inside the line then trim, and others too will make it be at the top of the line. So in which way you do it, I want to make sure that the coordinate is visible, everything is correct. So let's say if I put it inside this line, I'll just select it and drag it there inside the line, so like this. So if you want to do it like this, you just make sure it's inside this line. Then what you do is I'll just type the command trim, then enter. Then if you position the cursor in between the line, you see that an X, something small X will appear, meaning that trim. So if I left click, everything will go, you see. So you can make it this way, or you can make it lie at the top of the line. Everything's okay. The same thing. Okay, so let me turn in this way. So I'm done with the northings. Now let's my eastings. So what I do is that I'll do the same thing. So I'll just position a way I can see my coordinate. So this one is for this one, this one for this one, and this one for this one. So I'll just select these 3 coordinates. Now my restricting cursor is on, so I'll just select copy, then I come and select this one, then move it vertically. So I have to make sure position it one here, then move top, then you put another one there, then you're good to go. Just press escape, then you are good to go. Okay, now I'm done with my coordinates. So let's say if now the scale is, I have to make sure that the scale is 1:2,500, or the scale you have given to. The next one is, now I want to fill this place. Let's say I'm in UMAT, or the land I picked is in UMAT. So I have to make sure that you write here UMAT. So just select this label, double click, then it will activate for you to insert your name. So UMAT, then place an empty area to go. If you want to move it small, just select, move it to where you want to put it, and you're done. Then the UMAT is in which district or municipal. So if it is a district, you maintain the district. If it is a municipal, just change the district to municipal. So let's say Takwenswaye municipal, I'll just change this one to municipal, then write Takwenswaye. If it is a district, I'll just do the same. Then let's say it's in the western region, I'll write western. So the region is just a western, and just move it to be a little bit straight. Then you write the name of the client here, so for, then write for the client at this place. Okay, now I have to trim. Now the lines are cutting through the numbers, I have to trim that one too. So I'll type TR, enter, then I'll select this one, trim, and go here, trim, and go here, trim. Come to this place too, trim, you come here, trim, so applies to this one too, then you trim this one, so that you can see everything is okay. Everything is okay. Okay, then you make sure that here too everything is okay. It should be in the western region. Then now it left us to add our plan data and the beacon index. So let's look at this template. Now at first we're having these three tables: the Cartesian coordinate, the beacon index. So the Cartesian coordinate will give you the coordinate of every point, or will show you the coordinate of every point. Or the beacon index will also be the same to the XY, the coordinate of every point. And the plan data will contain where the point join each other. So from point 1 to point 2, point 3 to point 4, point 4 to point 5, in that way, and their bearings and distances. But for now, we don't do that. You have combined everything to be one. So what you do is that this is a template of one. So you can see the beacon index, the coordinate, the bearing and distance in the two. So I'll just select this one, copy, then I'll just copy it and come to my drawing, then Control V, and I'll just position at the place I want. So let's say I want it to be this place. Let's click. Okay, nice. Now I want to trim the line inside. If you try to trim it one by one, it will disturb or it will take a time. So let's say I type trim, enter. You see, if I select this one, it will just select only this one, the lines in between it. It will just delete this one. I don't want that here. I want to save my time. So what I'll do is that I'll select this boundary here and this boundary here, then trim. So if I select the line here, you see it will delete everything in between. So now I'm having my line. Now everything is okay now. Okay, so what is left is for you to edit in and put in your base and your 4 points. So these labels you give it, make sure you fill it inside this one. So now you see, when we were joining the lines, we started from the base to point 1, to point 2, to point 3, to point 4, to point 5, to point 1 back to form our boundary. In the same way you arrange it in the table. So from the base, this is the base label. So if you go to this place, you can see this is the base label, SW H2 145. So if I come to my plan, I have to make sure that that one starts. So HGW H2 145. I have to make sure that one starts. So from the base, I go to my point 1. So from to point 1, from point 1 to point 2, from point 2 to point 3, from point 3 to point 4, from point 4 to point 5. There's no point 5, sorry. So go back to 1. So you go back to the first point. That's how it's been done. Now you fill in the northern coordinates and the y coordinates and the bearings and the distances. Okay, so let's say by mistake I delete the bearing here. How can I get that bearing back? Because if you try to use the command again, it won't work for you unless you start everything back. So by mistake, if you delete everything, what you do is that just select that line, then type in the command list, then press enter. And this option will give you everything about that line. You see, it has given you the point from and the point to. So meaning that it's from this coordinate, you can see the xy here, the x value and the y value here, and to this point. So you can see the 2 here to this point. It's giving you everything, and to give you the length of that line. So if by mistake you delete the length here, you can see after typing that command, you can see the length here 160.83. The angle is, you can see 271 degree 53 seconds and 53 minutes and 14 seconds. You can see everything's been provided here. Okay, so note that command, the list. Okay, so how to make sure everything is intact. So if you want to fill in the coordinates, there are 2 ways to do that. You can refer to where your point is. So this is my point. You can refer to where my point is. So this is my point. I'll just minimize this one. So this is my point, my notice. The first one is my base, and when we are filling in the coordinates, it should be in 2 decimal places. So if you're supposed to run, you have to run it. They should all be in 2 decimal places. Okay, so we just copy this one, Ctrl C, then just come here, double click. You see it has selected, then you paste. So now this one, the decimal is 944. Now there's no need for me to run it, so I'll just delete one, then click an empty place, and I come to the next one, the distance. I'll just select it, then copy, then come here, then select this one, then paste. This one is 318, so I have to run it, so it should be 32. Okay, and this one is, I'm done with the first point base. Now the reason why I brought these bearings and distances is that they were far, but I will be needing them when filling the table. That's why I brought it closer to the plan, so that I can get it when filling the table. So you can see the bearings here. So I'll just copy my bearing here. I'll come here, and now when filling the bearings we use only the degree and the minute in filling the bearing portion, and the bearing should be in thousands. You can see here, this one you have 2 degree 11 minutes and 7 seconds. So what I'll do is that I'll just copy or select this one and copy it and come here. I'll paste it. I have to make sure that the degree is in thousands, so I have to add some zeros in front of it. And this one too, because we are dealing with the degrees and the minutes, you have to make sure that when the seconds is more than 30 seconds, you have to run it. So if it is 30, you have to run it to the next minute. So this one is 2 degrees, the seconds is 7, so this one I can't run it because it's not up to 30, but I have to so I have to delete the seconds there, and this one has to be down, so I'll add 2 zeros in front of it. Then I'm done with the first one. Then my distance will have to be in the distance have to be in 1 decimal place. So what I'll do is I'll just select this one, copy. The distance have to be in 1 decimal place. I'll just paste it here, then run it to the nearest value. I'll get 3. You see, that will be my base. So meaning that from base to the pillar 1, so you have to make sure that you place here by the pillar 1 label or the original number or the label or the original number. Sure. Then go to now from pillar 1 to pillar 2. What are the coordinates? So here is where you put the coordinates. Now coordinate for pillar 1. Now you go to pillar 2. Okay, so pillar 1. What is the coordinate? So you put in the coordinate of pillar 1. So as I said, there are 2 ways of doing it. So you can either copy it straight from the Excel, or when you come to pillar 1, just select the point, then right click on it, go to properties, and you see the a property column will appear here. So we see the values here for the easterns and the northerns values here. They are in they've run them to 2 decimal place for you. So you can just right click here and copy everything and go and paste it at pillar 1, where you are supposed to put the values there. So just put it. Select this one. So just select and just paste. Then you go and select the point again. Then to appear here, then copy the Y. You go and put it there until the table is filled or your boundary is occupied with everything. I hope you get it. So you do it from the base to pillar 1, pillar 1 to pillar 2, pillar 2 to pillar 3, pillar 3 to 4, and then 4 to back to 1. If your points are more than 1, what you do is that you have to add additional table. So what you do is that, let's say my points are 5. I want to add additional table. So what additional space? What I'll do is that I have to offset this one down here. So what I'll do is that I'll just come here. This is the offset button or 2. I'll just select it, or I can just type offset into account. It says specify offset distance. Now I want to use the same distance in between this one. What I'll do is I'll just select the first line here, select here, then move it to the next line. So it will automatically calculate the distance in between it. So if I select this line, as I move it down, you can see there's an additional line here. I'll just left click. Now I've created an additional line. Now I have to extend all these lines down. So if you want to extend all these lines down, what you do is that just type a command EX, meaning extend. So you see an extend command. you just click on the extend. So as you move or as you hover the mouse on the line, it will extend it. So just click it. You see it has joined to it. Come to this place too. Or what you can do is that you just reference or position at this one and just drag it. You see everything is what's moving. You see, then you're good to go. Then this one has passed, so I'll just trim this one. Just trim this one. This one. That's not part, so I'll just trim it. So I'll just trim the parts I don't need. Then if you want to enter a new value here, what you do is that just copy from here, copy, then move it to this place. It's my apply, so just copy and put them here. Then you just edit it and input your values inside, and you're good to go. You're good to go. Okay, so after filling the table, then you're almost done. Now you've used the bearings and everything to fill in the table, and you're having everything complete. So you can just delete the bearing this time because you won't submit that one. Since you've used that one to fill the table, you won't submit that one. You won't submit that one. You submit that one. So this is your boundary. Now you have to keep, for the labels, you have to keep them there. You have to keep the labels there. Okay, so this is it. Now we have to calculate the area. So whenever you calculate the area, they will be in square feet. They will be in square feet because of the plugin you're using. To automatically be in square feet because we're dealing with feet, and the bearings everything are in feet, so to be in square feet. So I want to calculate my area of the boundary. What I'll do is I'll just type area. Then you see an area command appearing. Just type enter. Then you can start from anywhere. So this time I'm starting from 1. Now I want to get the exact point, but I'm not locating it. If I click on it, it can be that it will click at the center or not. So for me to get the exact position, let me destroy this command by pressing on escape, meaning that my OSnap is not active. So what I'll do is that I'll just press the command OS snap. Then this will see everything is not selected, so I'll just select all. Okay, then I'll just type the area again, then enter. I'll go here, then I'll just drag it. Okay, let me continue from here. So you see it is locating the center of the point for me. Same applies to this one. Same applies to this one. The same applies to this one. So after closing it, you have to make sure that you come and close at where you started, and you press enter. So you can see the area will be somewhere here. That's giving me 16146.94. 16146.94. So you have to make sure that you write it. 16146.94. So when the value appears, make sure you write it down. After that, this one will be in square feet. Then you go to your calculator on your PC. Just type calculator on the PC. Then when you go to the commands here, you scroll down, you see an area. Then you see we change this one to square feet. Then you type your value 16146.94. So this one is in hectares. So if you want to change it in this one is okay, so this one is the square feet, this one is hectares. So if I want it in acres, I'll just click on the drop down, go to acres. You can see it is what, 0.37 acres. So I'll just write it down, 0.37 acres. Then go to, we change this one to hectares again, and to give you the value in hectares, then write it 0.15 hectares. Then you are done. Then what you do is that you just come here and change the values here to, so double click, you change the area here there, so you have the acres, that is 0.15 in acres, and hectares, no, the acres is 0.37 and the hectares is 0.15. Okay, I'm done with the area. Now we will be needing the red edge, because in any cadastral plan, after doing that, you have to make sure you're having a red edge boundary across it. So you can do it on the PC as well. You can also use a red pen and do it after printing it out. So what you do is that now you're going to do it manually here, and this line should be what, continuous lines. So what I'll do is that I'll just offset it. What I'll do, I'll just go to offset, then my offset is, I'm just choosing 2 and enter. And when I come here, I'll choose this line, move it inside, then I'll click, that's created another line here. I'll come here, then let's create another line. I'll move in, it applies to this one, I'll move in. Okay, after that I'll just trim the extra lines here. So I'll just TR, then I'll just trim the extra lines here. I'll just trim extra lines here. This one applies to this one. Then I'll come here to, I'll just trim here. Okay, now I have to change these colors to red. So I'll just come here, I'll select my lines here, I'll select all the inner lines I've created, all the offset that I've created. Then I'll go to the property, or if your property is not there, just select, right click and go to properties. This one will appear. Then go to color, then color, I'll click on the drop down, I'll choose what, red. Now everything is okay. If there is a road somewhere here, let's say there's a road here and I want to create the road, I'll just come here, line type, then you can select. So the road line should be different from the boundary line. So now I'm not having the various line types here. So what I'll do is that, see, when I go to order, I can now browse. So if you can't find the other lines or the broken lines there, you can just click on this place, go to other, then go to load lines. So you go to load, so it will bring you other lines. So I'm having my dash, I can load the dash. Okay, I've added to it. I want to load another one, I can just press down and go down and choose, let's say, another one somewhere here, my dash. So now I've loaded it onto my line types. Now press OK. So now if I come here and press this one, they should come. You can see these are all the dash lines. So I'll just select this one and just let's say there's a road here. So I'll just type line, then I'll just create my line here. Enter another line. I'll just create, enter. So this is my road. Okay, then after that, we are done with the plan. We are done with the plan. So you have to make sure the license survey you are going to give it to the person. Just make sure you write the name of the license surveyor here. Other associate professor Cynthia Boy or Professor Bernard Kumi Boatin or Professor Xavier Lamte. Mante, yes, sure. Mante. Then you have to get their license number being placed there. Then you send it to them to stamp. After that, you forward it to the original surveyor for him to inspect everything and sign. So after doing everything, what you do is you have to print it out. So by printing it out, you have to save it in a PDF format. So you just go to the AutoCAD symbol here, click on it. Then you go to print, you go to plot. Now you want to just print a single sheet or go to a single sheet. Now I have to make sure that the plotter will change it from none to the PDF format. So Microsoft Print to PDF. Now you have to change the paper size to A4. Now the what to plot. Now you're going to select what you're going to plot. So you see it's on display. So just click on the drop down, go to window, then just select. So position it well, then select it. Okay, so you select your boundary like this. Now you've seen how it has positioned it. So this one will show you how it will be on the sheet. So this is the size of the A4, 210 millimeters by 297 millimeters. It has covered half. We don't want it that way. We want it to fill everything, and we want it to be in a portrait. So just click on the portrait, and it should be a center plot. So now you have to preview it and see how it will look like. So apply layout, then go to preview. So this is how my plan will look like after printing it. Okay, so you can just close it from here. So if everything is okay, I'll just click on OK. Then I'll save it to where I want to save it. So let's say downloads. Let's say my work. I'll just save it. Okay, now go here, downloads. So this is my work. So this is my work. Now I'm done with the work. Thank you very much for your time. This is Kang Desmond. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.